A while back, a little mobile game called Edge arrived on the scene, which was about a player navigating the cube through a series of tricky levels by swiping their finger across the screen. It then appeared on PS3, and now it's arrived on Steam.
The first thing I noticed was that the PC version plays a little bit differently to the version I remember playing on iPhone Badge. The basic premise is the same, but it's a little trickier and more complex because the use of the arrow keys or WSAD instead of just swiping your finger makes for some more minute adjustments, and it's easier to make mistakes.
The levels get steadily more complex as you progress, with a good learning curve. Initially, you just need to guide your cube through some fairly basic obstacles. However, once you get going, you'll encounter moving platforms, buttons, puzzles, and tunnels.
And this complicates things because Edge is a game about speed, and you're scored kind of like a school paper with A's, B's, and D's.
Get a few D's in your time, did you, Bartra?
Just a couple.
A few?
Well, I found initially it just took me a while to get used to the movement. It all just felt a bit backward to me. Because of the way the screen is angled, I just couldn't tell which way was forward. You know, pushing up would go that way, and then side to side was sort of that way, and I just kept getting turned around, and I would go the opposite way to the way that I wanted to go. It got really frustrating.
Yeah, that was definitely part of the challenge, especially combined with the speed element. Platforms will fall away from you, or some levels involve blocks zipping around a track, like a high-speed highway you have to somehow cross without getting swept away.
The levels start to become really creative, which I loved, and it's all set to this really funky electronic soundtrack, and I couldn't help tapping my foot to it. One of my favourite levels was called Hi-Fi because it had these coloured moving blocks that kind of mimicked the look of an equaliser on a hi-fi system, and there's so many great design moments like that all the way through the game.
As things started to get more challenging, the game will offer you a little question mark square to give you a hint of how to get through certain sections, and it'd play out the answer with a little ghost AI cube performing the correct move.
Yes, but Darren, sometimes the puzzling was so tricky, not even the AI could do it. I give that AI a D.
Well, all in all, I liked this game. It has that really addictive quality, and the speed element just makes everything all the more stressful, but it's challenging in all the right ways. I did get mostly B's, I'm afraid, but it did make me want to go back and replay those levels to try and get a better score. I'm giving it 7 out of 10 rubber chickens.
There were elements of Edge that reminded me of that game Echochrome, which we reviewed a while back, but this was way more fun, and that soundtrack is just excellent. It's still the sort of game I'd rather play on the move, but even so, I'm giving it 7 out of 10 rubber chickens.